This segment of Delmarva Life is brought to you by Stanley Steemer.
You're watching Delmarva Life, and winter means a whole lot of things. It means colder temperatures, it means potential snowstorms, and it also means your house is likely to be a bit dirtier. We are here today at Stanley Steemer with Eric Farrell, who's the manager, to find out why it's dirtier and what we can do about it. So how you doing, Eric?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm great. So wintertime, our houses are dirtier. Why?
Well, in the wintertime, I think the most obvious thing right now is we're tracking in a lot of salt that was spread on roads or driveways or sidewalks. We're tracking that into the home. There is, kids going outside and playing, dragging in snow, dirt associated with that. And we are just spending more time indoors because, well, it's cold outside.
That's right.
So a lot of people are trying to stay indoors. And then in the wintertime itself, just naturally our bodies are emitting more dust, from dry skin and things like that.
Yeah. So what can we do to kind of prevent it a little bit?
The best thing to do is stop it at the source. So have a doormat outside where you can knock the salt, dirt, anything off of your shoes before going into the home. The best type of mat is going to be something that is kind of mesh, that dirt, soil will fall all the way through the mat and collect under the mat. When using a carpeted type of mat, that soil stays on top of the mat. So the first few times you knock your shoes off, the dirt settles in the mat, not a problem. Over time though, when you think you're knocking dirt off your shoes, you're really picking dirt up and taking it into the home. You want to have a couple lines of defenses, so have one mat outside the door, another mat inside the door where you can knock your shoes off, and then in my home we even have a third line of defense, which is going to be like a carpeted mat where you can really rub your shoes off. I think my favorite method though, growing up cleaning carpet, is going to be shoes off at the door. That definitely guarantees that you're not going to have a mess. Also keeping one point of entry into the home. So you may have a front door, a garage door, or a side door, but just designating one main entrance that your whole family's using, so that's where you can put all your lines of defenses to keep the soil salt outside.
Right, and speaking of those lines of defense, here's some good example of mats, huh?
Right, so Stanley Steemer does offer a mesh mat, which allows you to, it's coarse, so it allows you to knock the dirt off your shoes, and it'll fall through the mat underneath the rug, and then you just pick the rug up, sweep up the soil, dispose of it, lay the rug back down. And they're great mats. There's a lot of different comparable mats that you can get, but you want something that will allow the soil to fall all the way through.
It's so funny that I look at these because I think when I'm at the store, I'm just like, oh, what's the prettiest one? What's got the best saying on it? But really, this is probably a better idea.
When we're talking about your home, we're looking for pretty, but we're also looking for the effectiveness.
That's right. So what about should we be cleaning more?
Yeah, in the wintertime, I mean, your cleaning protocols do need to increase. So one of the biggest things you can do is regular vacuuming. And even on hard surface floors, whether you have tile, a natural stone, or a wood floor, vacuuming is always very important to perform prior to mopping. And the reason I would say that is because if you have salt or soil on your floor and you go straight to wet mopping it, you'll actually take that coarse salt or dirt and you can scratch the floor. So a good vacuuming first is going to remove that dry soil prior to your mopping. And even just vacuuming regularly in the home, dusting, again, people notice in the wintertime there's more dust in the home, and that's from us spending more time indoors, but also our body emits more dust in the wintertime as well.
That's right. And of course, you guys do the professional cleaning, so should we be calling you guys more? How often should we have you come?
We should, and there's a couple trains of thought here. You have customers that know they're going to be making a mess throughout the winter, so they may just want to wait until spring. But there's a lot of messes that you don't want to let sit too long. So most carpet manufacturers recommend cleaning, at least 1 to 4 times a year, depending on the use in the home. Having 2 beautiful daughters at home, I can tell you, I'm probably cleaning, every other month. Even with all my lines of defenses, just because we try to keep the home, healthy and clean as well.
Wow. This is some great information, I really feel like.
Oh, yeah.
This is good stuff. So we'll recap a little bit. We got to use the good mats.
Right, so good mats to knock the dirt off your shoes.
Got to have the good mats. Got to have one point of entry.
That helps out a lot.
So but if you're in the Eric Farrell family, you got to Take the shoes right off
Shoes off.
before you come in the house.
Shoes off.
Good stuff. All right, well, hey, thank you so much for hanging out with us today, and hopefully everybody will now have cleaner homes because of it.
Of course, and we'll always be here to help if they do need any assistance.
Love it. Happy cleaning, everybody.